Australia, continent of dreams, has been brought to you by your Twin Cities Toyota dealers. I love what you do for me, Toyota.
Good evening, I'm Heather Harden.
And I'm Steve Goodspeed. Coming up next on Primetime News, an investigation is underway at a Minneapolis home where the body of a young woman was found in a shallow grave.
In world news, tension mounts in Yugoslavia as a civil war threatens to break out.
I'm Robin Robinson. Doctors are puzzling over what to do with doctors that have HIV. I'll have the story.
Plus Joe's weather forecast and Jim Gilliland's sports.
Primetime News is next.
What's that cool going down? What's that chill rushing through you? What's that light that takes your breath away? That's the taste of real refreshment. That's the real love diet Coke. That's the taste of real refreshment. Just for the taste of diet Coke.
Your Isuzu dealer has a package for you that's worth looking into. Right now, you could save $600 on an options package that includes air conditioning, a roof rack, stereo, and rear wind deflector. Add to that factory-to-dealer incentives on the Trooper, and you could save a total of up to $2,600. The Trooper package at your Isuzu dealer. Let us wrap one up for you.
You could save up to $2,600 on the versatile Trooper at your Twin Cities Isuzu dealer.
I put it on.
You put it on.
Oh, I put it on.
Introducing Off Skintastic, a new repellent from the makers of Off.
I don't think I've got it on.
You've got it on.
Oh, I've got it on.
Off Skintastic keeps bugs from biting and feels great.
Doesn't feel like I've got anything on.
You've got it on.
Oh, I've got it on.
Off Skintastic even smells good.
Are you sure I've got it on?
Are you being chewed alive by mosquitoes?
No.
Then you've got it on.
New Off Skintastic feels so good, you'll forget you've got it on.
Oh, I've got it on.
I believe when you give people the best price, they'll give you their business. Seems my approach has been picked up by a credit card company.
Introducing Price Protection from Citibank Visa. If you buy something with your Citibank Visa, then see it in a printed ad for less, we'll refund you the difference up to $250. So you can get the best price no matter where you shop.
Offering the best price has kept my customers happy. I'm sure it'll do the same for Citibank's customers.
Stand by.
Not just Visa, Citibank Visa.
Tonight on Primetime News, police dig up the yard of a Minneapolis home. They're looking for clues in the death of a woman found buried there. This is our top story for Thursday, June 27th.
From KMSP Television, America's #1 independent station, this is Primetime News with Rod Grams, Heather Harden, meteorologist Joe Dandria, Perry Williams on sports, and the entire award-winning Primetime News team.
Good evening, I'm Steve Goodspeed. Rod Grams has the night off. Tonight, authorities are trying to identify the body of a woman found buried in a yard in South Minneapolis.
The body was discovered last night and could be that of a woman who disappeared late last year.
Tonight, 2 men are in custody. A backhoe moved into the backyard this afternoon behind the house at 3027 Clinton Avenue South. Homicide investigators took off their sport coats in the muggy heat and picked up shovels, sifting through the dirt for any evidence. Last night, police found the body of a woman buried here. They were executing a search warrant in connection with the disappearance of Julie Ann Everson, who lived here before disappearing 6 months ago. Police were originally called here back in December when Julie Everson called to say she had been beat up by her boyfriend. Keith Bullock was arrested and released the next day. Julie Everson was not seen again. Last night, police arrested Keith Bullock and another man who also lives here, Russell Arnold Swart. Today, investigators were carefully going through the garage in the back of the house. If the body is Everson's and if she died in December, it would have been difficult to bury her until spring. Meanwhile, a neighbor says it was this spring that Russ Swart laid crushed rock and new sod in the backyard. Police say that while investigators had gone to the house looking for evidence last night, they were not planning to find a body. But one officer spotted some dirt in the yard that looked suspicious.
Noticed a depression in the ground which resembled that of a possible grave site, and then began checking that soil out and found it was quite loose, and then began digging and ultimately found the body.
While neighbors drifted by to watch the digging today, some were clearly shaken.
I said to my neighbor, you should have told me in the morning instead of at night, because I was sleep awake. I've been here 33 years. You can't take this.
Keith Bullock and Russ Swart are being held on suspicion of murder. They have not yet been charged. Meanwhile, tonight, the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office says the woman has been dead for several months, but there is not yet any positive identification. Using dental records, they hope to have an ID tomorrow.
Charges are expected to be filed tomorrow against a 15-year-old boy who police say killed his father. 45-year-old Louis Petrie was hit by 7 bullets at his North Minneapolis home. His teenage son is being held. Police say the shooting took place while the son and father were arguing. A Minneapolis drowning victim has been identified. The body of Stephen Miles Brave Crow was recovered from the Loring Park Pond last night. The 42-year-old man was last seen alive while swimming in the pond near downtown Minneapolis. Witnesses say they saw Brave Crow disappear under the water. The Sheriff's Water Patrol recovered his body about an hour and a half later.
A prison inmate from New York has been indicted on charges of trying to extort $100,000 from the parents of Jacob Wetterling. A federal grand jury alleges that Michael Green of Buffalo, New York, wrote a letter to Jerry and Patty Wetterling last year. It says Green told them he would claim they participated in their son's kidnapping unless they paid the money. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Green's letter accused the Wetterlings of orchestrating the abduction in 1989 to establish the Wetterling Foundation for personal financial gain. Authorities say there is no evidence to support Green's claim. U of M clinicians are still waiting to